Hey there, Chris here from IELTS Advantage, and today we're going to look at how to improve your spelling. Spelling's important in the context of the IELTS test because if you spell the answers wrong for your listening or your reading test, they're automatically wrong. This is something that people underestimate a little bit, and what I see also on the listening and reading test is that people, when they're practicing, they might spell the word wrong and either they don't notice it when they're practicing, or they correct it themselves and give themselves a correct score, and that can lead to you maybe getting a lower score in the real test. So it is an issue. It's really important that your spelling is up to the level that it needs to be in the listening and reading test. And then of course in the writing test, spelling comes under vocabulary, so especially for you guys using vocabulary that you might not be sure about, it's 25% of your total mark. So again, this comes down to when people get their scores, they often get a lower score than they think they deserve. They think that they are using great vocabulary, but if half of it is misspelt, then you're going to get a low score. So by improving your spelling, you're going to improve your listening, reading, and your writing. So we're going to give you a 6-point plan that I have used with my students that immediately, if they carry out this plan, it will immediately improve your spelling. So, number one, save a doc on your device, on your laptop, on your desktop, on your iPad, whatever, your phone. Get a Google Doc or a Word doc or any kind of document. It's really, really important that you save this, and this is your spelling doc. You're going to put everything into this one document. It's really important. Step number one, you do this. Step number two, when writing, so when you should be practicing writing, of course, if you're preparing for the IELTS test. When you're writing, turn spell check off. So when you're doing your essays or when you're doing your task 1 letters or reports or whatever you're doing, do not use spell check because we become very, very lazy for one thing, and it automatically sometimes corrects our spelling mistakes and we don't know that we're making those spelling mistakes over and over and over again. And then at this point is important for what we're going to do with this doc. So I know it's tempting to keep it on, but just turn it off on all of your devices, especially when you're practicing your writing. Number 3, turn on at the end to reveal mistakes. So let's say you're doing an essay, you write your 250-word essay, spell check off, and then at the end, turn spell check on. And it is going to reveal all of your mistakes at the end. Number 4, transfer the mistakes to that document. So this document that you saved, just copy and paste with the mistake in it. It's really important that you do that. Don't correct it. Don't like right click and automatically correct it with Grammarly or anything like that. Transfer each and every mistake into this doc. Then number 5, fix the mistakes. So it's very, very important that you do 2 things here. So when you transfer it, don't right click on it and automatically fix it using your computer. That's not going to help you. What I want you to do is look at each of the mistakes and think about what mistake you've actually made. Because if you don't carry out this step, your brain is not going to actually learn anything. So by looking at the mistake, don't look it up in a dictionary, don't Google it or anything like that. Try and think, why have I actually made this mistake? Physically type it out, the correction that you think it is, and then check it to make sure that it is 100% correct. And by doing that, you're basically telling your brain, this was the mistake, this is how I fix it in the future, don't do that again, do this correctly. It takes a little bit of work, but there's no magic solution to that. And it's incredibly simple. It doesn't take that much work to really, really improve your spelling, and that is going to improve your scores as well. And then finally, number 6, review that document regularly. So save that document, don't just use it once. What I want you to do is have all of your spelling mistakes in there. And there's 2 things that you're going to be able to do when it comes to review. Number 1, you're going to be able to see a lot of progress. So let's say you start like 6 weeks ago, you would have been making, let's say, 10 spelling mistakes in every essay. Then it'll be 9, then it'll be 8, then 7. You're going to see a lot of progress, and just mentally that's very good for you, because if you start to see progress, you're more likely to keep going and keep doing it. And The second thing, look for patterns. By patterns, I mean particular types of words or spellings or particular tenses or anything like that that you consistently make mistakes with. So a very obvious mistake is like something like this, IE. So there's a rule, what is it, I before E but not before C? Is that the one? In schools here, that's what they teach you. They say I before E but not before C. It's not 100%, but most of the time it is. But a lot of people will put the E before the I. So that, imagine you do that for every single word that has I and E in it, you would see that pattern. And then in the test, when you're checking your work at the end, you'll be aware of this, or you have already fixed this mistake. It just becomes a bad habit sometimes. Some people, their spelling mistakes are very habitual. It's just habit that it's kind of ingrained in them. So if you follow those 6 steps, again, it doesn't take that much work because you should be doing this anyway. You should be practicing your writing anyway. And then at the end, check your writing. Also, listening and reading. At the end, when listening, when you're transferring your answers, make sure the spelling is correct. Reading, when you're adding in your answers, make sure the spelling is correct by just referencing, checking it. So many people fail the reading test through just sloppy, careless mistakes. So make sure that you're checking that the words are correct when you're doing that. And these little things all add up and will lead to you improving your scores. That's the spelling thing done. If you do that, then you'll be able to solve that problem. If you have any other problems, if you need help, we have solutions just like that. Very straightforward systems that you can use to fix pretty much any IELTS problem that you have. If you have a problem and you need help, there's 2 things you can do. Number 1, you can send me an email. Either myself or one of my team, we answer every single email that comes in. So if you have a question, you need help, anything like that, feel free to get in touch. Or if you go to our website, if you just Google IELTS Advantage, and you hit search, you'll get our website. So if you go to our website, you'll find everything that you need there. You'll find videos, you'll find blog posts on every single thing related to IELTS. So we cover listening, grammar, writing, speaking, vocabulary. You can check out all of our success stories, all of our courses, everything that you need basically. Just type in IELTS Advantage into your browser and you'll get there. Thank you very much guys, and hopefully you find that useful. And in the comments, let me know if there are any words that you find really difficult to spell. It'd be interesting to see if there are any patterns, any common words that people find difficult to spell. English is a strange language. The spelling often is completely different from how the words actually sound, so that can catch a lot of people out. But put in any words that you find just really silly and difficult to spell in the comments. Thank you very much guys, and see you again soon. Bye bye.